1, 2, and 3. It took me about 3 steps to complete this full haircut. He had about 2 years worth of hair length. So let's get started with the tutorial, guys. Step number 1 is to organize your work. You guys just want to part the hair. As a beginner, I used to always panic when I would just get a shit ton of hair and I was like, man, I don't even know where to start. So now that I have a little bit more experience, I know what tools to use to make my workload a lot easier. I'm using my Gamma and Stylecraft Pro Rebels, which are very powerful. And that comb that you guys see is an Oster comb that if you lay it flat on your client's head, it should measure about a 1.5. And right here, I'm scooping out with the 4.5. The 4 guard with the lever open. Then I go in with clipper over comb again because I have OCD and I just wanted to just get rid of those hairs. Then you wet the hair, guys. You wet the hair and that will give it the kind of, you'll get an idea of where his cowlick is at. So then all the hair that falls through, you can clipper over comb it again. You know, we're trying to keep the bulk on top and just create that nice from dark to light transition when you guys blend. You know, and then I went in with my scissors and I chopped everything from the front. So the next thing that we do is just part his hair from the corners of his hairline, and then we're gonna create a nice vertical clean section that goes straight down from his head. You know, I can use all of the terminology and stuff like that, the barber terms and stuff, but just common sense, logically speaking, just a vertical section down the middle, and you just start chopping hair down. And he didn't really know what kind of hairstyle he wanted, so I was like, you know what, bro, like, you know, he didn't want to get a lineup, so I was like, all right, bro, like, you need something that you're gonna throw your hair forward just in case you want to hide your hairline. And I started just doing the same thing across the whole head. So that's just for me to clean up my work. That's not gonna be the finished product. So then I can just grab the hair, comb it down, do some clipper over comb. So we can go into step number 2 now, which is gonna be to start creating our guidelines and figure out what kind of fade we're gonna give him. You know, he wanted something, it was his first time getting a skin fade. So I was like, bro, like, you don't want to go too high because, you know, your skin is going to look really white and stuff like that. So I was like, also to suit your head shape, I think a drop fade would be a perfect way to like work you in. So if you do like it, we can go higher next time. Or if he doesn't like it that high, we can just do a taper or a taper fade. And then we're going in with the number 1 guard, lever open. This is a 1.5. So we're creating a 2-finger guideline that's the same shape that we set our first guideline with. So everything has to be replicated now. So then we can split that guideline in half with the lever open. A rule of thumb is every single guideline has to be a finger's length of thickness. Once you guys do that on both sides, we have 2 guidelines now. Now we're gonna go up and create a 3rd guideline with the 2 guard lever open. So we have now 1 guideline with the half, 1 guideline with the 1.5, and the 3rd guideline now with the 2.5. And we're gonna put our lever in the middle. We're gonna hit the guideline in the middle. So we're doing middle to close to open. Just right here on the sideburn area. For some reason, I don't know why I started like that. I feel like it was already almost blended. So I was like, let me start in the middle because it's already kind of almost blended. So I went middle, closed to open. And right here in the back, we're gonna do closed to open. Just think about it like this, guys. The term says it, you know, closed to open. We start closed, we baby tap the beginning of the line. As we keep working our way up into the guideline, you guys keep opening the lever little by little. That's what it just means. If we say open to closed, it means you start with your lever open and you close it little by little as you keep closing the lever and you keep going down into the guideline. In the second guideline, it's very important to know that it takes 2 guards to erase the line. We're going close to open with the 1 guard, just softening the line. We're just being very patient. And as you guys can see, it's like right there in the sideburn area, kind of like everything blended so fast. But right here in the back, you guys can see it's the hair's a lot darker because it's a lot denser in the back. Like he has more hair towards the back, and it's harder because his head dips towards the back. So depending on your client's head shape and head structure, that's how you guys are gonna have to fade and adjust throughout the haircut. Right here, I'm using the 1.5 guard. And since we did set a 2.5 guard, we're blending that 1.5 into the 2.5, doing open to closed. But it's a lot more complicated in this step because you guys just have to use your eyes and use lever play, which means that if you guys see a dark spot lower, you close the lever. If you see it more on top, you guys have to open it. We're gonna go in our C cup area, and as you guys can see, I'm kind of like tilting my trimmer because he had like little baby hairs laying on the side, and that's a good technique that you guys can use to get those baby hairs. And then just use your trimmer as if it were a pencil. That's as much as I can say for that, because it's all hand-eye coordination and practice at the end of the day. For details, I used my YS Park comb and my scissors, and I'm only using one little gap in the comb, and I just basically did that around the whole head. Like I went just level by level until I was comfortable with moving on to the next step. Just using my single foil shaver to get rid of all that little stubble at the bottom. And now to finish our trim, we're gonna do the same thing, a vertical section. Just chop everything down, and then we're gonna align everything, just texturizing the top. So this just works, guys. This is my technique. This is what works for me. These are the techniques that I use. I know there's other barbers that use other things, but this is what worked for this haircut. It's just simply figuring out, one, you got to organize your work. Two, you got to make sure you set your guidelines and figure out what kind of blending method you guys want to use. And number three is just to detail your work. Just go back, fix any mistakes, and make sure that everything is just on point, guys. I use some sea salt spray by Mason's Pomade, and I'm using my XL blow dryer. This blow dryer is money, guys. This is just gas. So it's by Gamma, and the sea salt spray is by Mason's, and using this diffuser too. So I just blow dried everything, made sure everything was dry. Then towards the center, I used the diffuser because I don't want to get rid of that flow that he had, to use some Slick Gorilla texturizing powder. You guys see how crispy this is, guys? This is the before and the after. Crazy transformation. Let me know down below in the comment section what you guys think of this haircut. Hit the like and subscribe for more videos. I appreciate all the constant support, guys. I'll catch you next week for more content.